Hi folks, we're here to look at the Volkswagen Passat GTE, the brand new cruiser from Volkswagen, which is a hybrid Passat hybrid sedan with a 1.44 turbocharged petrol engine hooked up to a electric motor, and the result is a car that will do 140 miles an hour top speed and 0 to 62 in about 7.4 seconds or somewhere around that point. The Passat is a massively popular saloon car for fleet drivers. That's the folks who travel up and down long stretches of motorway from appointment to appointment, and therefore it's geared towards comfort, space, and of course absolute mile-eating smoothness. And this Passat promises to add even more of all of those things in the new edition. As you can see, there's plenty of room in the back for all sorts of things. You have the typical kind of drop down and home comforts like little center armrests. So it's fully appointed. This is obviously one of the main criteria for a highway cruiser. Once again, a capacious compartment at the back to hold just about anything. You'll fit a whole kitchen sink in there. Let me just... And of course, with the drop down, it's even further. It's almost like van size. This is a really roomy vehicle. Under the bonnet, the same 1.4 turbocharged engine as you'll find in the Golf GTE, with a very similar layout actually. So it obviously shares a huge amount of pedigree with the two cars together. No room to swing a dead squirrel in here. Inside, again, rather like the Golf GTE, there's very little to differentiate this from a standard car. No, the only thing that gives it away is the, let me just switch that on, is the charge unit over there in the tachometer on the left hand side, which tells you how the battery is doing at any one time. But apart from that, it's remarkably conventional, and that's the way it seems that most drivers seem to like it, according to Volkswagen, because it matches almost identically the Golf GTE layout in all respects. Unlike the Golf GTE, you have a few more settings. You have Eco, Comfort mode, which we assume fiddles around with the suspension, Normal, Sporty, just get that back, and Individual, which is a customized version. So it really is designed for the road warrior in every way. Who's likely to buy one of these? Well, fleets, obviously. If 70% of the market for these cars is fleet buyers, then that's obviously where it's going to go, into big corporate departments. And for, you know, it's for a little bit more than a standard diesel Passat. You can get yourself a GTE, which will give you 31 miles of all electric power, which you can use in town, as well as really stonking acceleration and top speed. Then it's really almost a no-brainer. And if you're in London, no congestion charge, of course, which is not a factor to be sneezed at if you're traveling in every day. So how does it drive? Well, let's take it out and see how it feels. So this is the new Passat GTE hybrid sedan, and it's a very nice piece of engineering, again, from the Volkswagen stable. From what we hear, they're clearly hoping to repeat the success of their standard models with this hybrid, and from first experience, it certainly has a really good chance of taking a chunk of the market away from the diesel variants, because you get that kind of combination of great fuel consumption alongside sporty performance and a very comfortable ride. The first thing I'm noticing from this test drive is that the Passat is a much smoother ride than the Golf GTE that we've looked at. Primarily because, of course, it's a longer wheelbase, so it's smoothing out all the bumps, not quite as jiggly. Hasn't got those sporty pretensions in terms of the suspension that the Golf GTE has, which makes for a very pleasant ride indeed. It's really smooth. For those lucky enough to get the adaptive cruise control, again, you have this combination of very smooth hybrid driving with control done by the computing and the onboard radar, which means just simple ease of use, really. For those who wonder about the acceleration, whether it's got any poke with this 1.4, let's do a sporty takeoff. And the answer is it has. That's to the legal limit. Very quick, very brisk. You just hear the slight murmur of the petrol engine as it kicks in, but the two work together, the hybrid and the petrol, to give a very brisk performance indeed for such a big car. And on the other side, the bit that's so nice is, you know, that you put it into a very simple mode like comfort mode, and you can just poodle around at a very respectable and very sedate speed. It's a car of two characteristics, really. It's very nice. And one of the things I noticed about it is that how well the hybrid and the petrol work together on this. Probably better than I've noticed on the Golf GTE. The two are quite balanced in bringing a smoothness to the Passat GTE. It's interesting to see how they've changed the dynamics on the two vehicles because of the size and the weight, etc. Now I'm in comfort mode on the drive, and this is where the suspension makes a little bit more effort to soak up the bumps, so you stay smooth. I have to say, I have noticed a difference. Of course, it could be my imagination just because I pressed the button, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. It certainly does seem quite smooth. The consumption seems to be reasonable. We're averaging, it says, around 5.2 litres per 100 kilometres, which overall, well, we did quite a long stint of high motorway travelling to get here, so that's probably helped it. But that shows you that, what's that, around about 60 miles, just under 60 miles to the gallon. So it's running about the same as the GTE hybrid on this short test. So we've done 124 kilometers today, and we've still got 624 to go. So that gives you an idea of your overall range with the electric and the petrol working together. Can I put my vote in for comfort mode? So far, I really do like the I don't know whether it's psychological or not, but I really do like the feel of the comfortable driving. It just feels okay. It doesn't wallow or anything, which I'd expect. Nice. For me, the surprise is really how unfussy this 1.4 turbo is. I'm getting constantly surprised by these small engines like the 1 litre 3 cylinders and the 1.4 turbos, which are just smooth and you know, really nice to drive. One interesting thing about the hybrid is, because we have this kind of issue with the fact that the hybrid, if you drive a lot on short journeys and just use electric, that the petrol motor gets used very rarely. They've actually done some special coating on the engine to make sure that you don't wreck the engine by running it too much cold with the oil hasn't. And the oil will also be automatically pumped through the engine from time to time, automatically by the system, to make sure that it's kept lubricated even though it's not being used very much. So there's a real good indication of what the sort of things you have to think about when you design and build a hybrid car. You know, it's not just a matter of sticking an electric engine, electric motor alongside a petrol engine. Well, there you have it, the brand new 2015 Volkswagen Passat GTE. Our verdict is an incredibly nicely engineered car, very smooth, very, very comfortable, bags of room. The combination of the hybrid and the 1.4 turbocharged engine is really a marriage made in heaven as far as I can see, even more so than the Golf GTE, which is surprising actually. It has the same kind of frugality as you'll get from a diesel. So yeah, a really, really nice car, very impressive indeed. As usual, if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more cool stuff. Thanks very much. Look who I'm at here on a trip here, like, because this is my moment of 5 minutes of fame with Rob, fully charged. I mean, Mr. Tesla himself. And sir, how are you?
Yeah, it's one of the most unique introductions I've ever had. And I've had some rubbish ones.
I bet you've had some great ones. So have you enjoyed the Passat GTE?
I am actually. I'm intrigued and fascinated by it, because I'm very intrigued by the concept of the plug-in hybrid and its ubiquity, its coming ubiquity.
Yeah, I love that word. Ubiquity is a word you don't hear often, is it, nowadays? I like it. I think it's really smooth.
Yeah, it's really nice. A very nice ride.
Isn't it just? Isn't it just really impressive? I mean, yeah. I was really, really impressed with that. So nice one, Volkswagen. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah,
thanks.
right, thank you.
Cheers.